Hey, all Chris Mystery Cleaning with the File Coast. So I wanted to drop a quick video today about sales, right? Okay, so we've all seen an example of a salesman, a showman, if you like, someone that sort of, you say salesman to someone, you'll think of, phrases like confident, cocky, perhaps even arrogant to a degree. Um, they, think they're the best thing since sliced bread, etc. And generally speaking, when you think salesman, right, you think fairly negatively. There's not many positive attributes people associate with salesmen. So when it comes to the self-employed business owner, it doesn't matter what you do. I mean, with window cleaning or exterior cleaning, or whether you're a plumbing and heating engineer, or whether you are an electrician, ultimately your business thrives only if you can get enough sales, get enough cash flow, get enough money coming through your business, okay? And having that repeat custom. So we need sales. But do we need salesmen? So I always find, as the title of this video would suggest, is it's better to be a nice, a person who is helpful. Be helpful. Don't be a salesman, but be helpful, right? And you could, let's say you can talk to 100 people and you might get one sale if you are taking the salesman approach, okay? That's 99 people that have ultimately said, no, you're all right, using the whole, well, blah, confidence, confidence, blah, blah, and, the whole jazz hands sort of showman type salesman, okay? And then you've got another guy who talks to another set of another 100 people, and he might only get one sale. But if he's helpful, then for every person that said no, a good chunk of those are going to be left with a positive outlook on that person. So for an example, when I try to give a quote, ultimately, let's not beat about the bush. My aim, my goal, if you like, is to, provide a service, okay, and be rewarded with money for it. That's how a business works. I'm sure most people don't struggle with that concept. But is it better to be a salesman or to be someone who is helpful? When you think of someone who is helpful, yeah, again, there are, on the flip side of salesmen, where there are a ton of negative connotations associated with salesmen. When you say someone is really helpful, generally speaking, that's a positive outcome, right? So I always look at it as, if I'm quoting residential window cleaning, or if I'm, quoting commercial jobs, the approach is very similar, okay? And but ultimately, my goal is to come across as someone who's ultimately is helpful, who knows what they're talking about, etc., and can provide a solution to a problem that they may have, okay? Whereas sales tends to be, at least from what my experiences with people who are in sales, is to throw as much mud at the wall and see what sticks. That for me is a waste of time. A waste of time. How many times have you ever spoken to someone, or you've had a sales call on your mobile phone where someone goes, "Oh, good morning, Mr. Addis, blah blah," and all this sort of stuff, and well, how are you today, and all this sort of stuff. It's almost like, get to the point, mate. I know you're trying to sell me something, and 9 times out of 10 you just go, "Oh, sod off," and you just hang up, don't you? Now, if someone was to approach you on the street like that, you'd be like, "You're all right, mate. See you in a bit." But if you used to approach someone, and say, I've cleaned a couple of houses on this street for window cleaning, etc. I just wondered if I could give you a quote. Unassuming, okay? Try to be helpful and solve a problem, etc. Not personal, not someone who's giving criticism, etc. And the person might say no, okay? And you just turn around and say, okay, well, if you change your mind, you know where we are, and hand them the leaflet. Now, 9 times out of 10, if you hand a leaflet to someone like that and say, no worries, just, bear us in mind, sort of thing, 9 times out of 10, someone they'll take it off you. And then they may not need you straight away, but they might need you in future. So you never know. But you know, always try and leave a positive outlook with a positive experience with someone. And I've always found it the easiest way. People say, "Oh, you know, how do you talk to people to do sales, Chris?" and all this sort of stuff. A lot of the time, it starts with "Good morning" or "Morning." You know, let's say I'm out on the road, I'm out cleaning windows. I've just got finished for the day. But let's say I'm out I'm cleaning windows, etc. And I've got the water pole out, I'm just brushing the window. You know, I'm enjoying my day, and someone walks past with a dog, or someone walks past me, and I just, you know, quick look over my shoulder. Oh, morning. I just back at it. And sometimes just doing that, breaking that ice, breaking that little invisible wall between you and them, because you don't want to come across as needy, as, you know, please, you know, please, you know, and all this sort of stuff. They'll be like, get the frick away from me, you lunatic. But there is a slight bit of a wall, because they might not want to disturb you straight away. They might go, oh, he looks busy. But if you turn around, I'm just cleaning the window, quick look over the shoulder, you know, or something like that. Oh, morning. It's a bit of a smile. Back to what you're doing. And then if they actually look at this, they look at you doing it and go, oh, actually, you know, do you do many on this street? And I'll say, yeah, well, I've got one or two further down, sort of thing, and all this sort of effort. Or, oh no, I've only got this one. Strike up a conversation, but be honest. Don't bullshit people. Just be honest with them. Say, oh, I've got a couple of houses down here. Yeah, no dramas. You know, would you like a quote? Oh yeah, if you've got 5 minutes, and you just be like, okay, no dramas. Well, let me get done here, and I'll come pay. I'll come give you a knock in a minute. Is that all right? You know, there's nothing salesy about it. There's nothing about, hey, look at me, oh, you know, sort of thing. It's nothing. It's not about that. It's, look, I perform a service. I'm a pleasant guy, and I'll, you know, and I'll try to remain pleasant with people. Yeah, and then if they look at what I do and go, well, actually, well, we just could do with a bit of a scrub as well, to be fair, then they're more likely to ask me if I've been nice to them. Yeah. There is this thing with salespeople that there's this fake niceness. You know what I mean? When you get a sales call, oh, good morning, Mr. Addis, blah, blah, blah. How are you today? My first reaction usually is, if I don't hang up, is what do you want? Who are you? What do you want? You know, because you're busy. You know, you're interrupting folk. You know what I mean? During the course of your day, you might be really busy, and someone rings you and you think it might be a potential customer, and you're like, oh, what the hell do you want? You know what I mean? Get to the point and bugger off. But if I'm knocking doors or something like that, and again, people think, oh, well, I don't like knocking doors because, oh, I always feel a bit like I'm encroaching on their territory and on their time, and I'm being a bit of a nag and a bit of a pain. No, I don't see it that way. I'll walk up to any front door anywhere. And the approach is 9 times out of 10 is going to be exactly the same every single time. Walk up to the front door, you know, be pleasant, be as nice a person as you can be, you know, and just and knock on the door and say, oh, morning, I was just wondering if I could offer you a window cleaning quote, etc. The answer is, generally speaking, going to be one of 3 things. But yeah, it can do. You know, I'll unlock the gate, you come through, sort of thing. Oh, brilliant, no worries. No, mate, sort of thing. Or no, go away, sort of thing. And at which point you go, all right, no, have a good day, and walk off. No drama. Or if someone says, oh, we've already got one, we've already got a window cleaner, you know. Now, we've already got a window cleaner. Now, here's the thing, right? You could do a number of things at this point. You could turn around and say, okay, well, tell you what, there's my card. If the window cleaner lets you down in future, bear in mind, we're in the area every 4 weeks. All right, have a good day. See you later. Walk off. The windows could be 3 or 4 inches thick in dirt and grime and grub and all this sort of good stuff. The last thing you should do is insult the window cleaner. I've had it where a friend of mine who remained nameless, I used to go around quoting and stuff and do bits and pieces, and almost used to shadow him and sort of, you know, see how he did it and all this sort of stuff. And his approach was quite sort of cocksure of himself, very sort of in people's faces a lot of the time with sales and stuff like that. And he'd knock on a door and someone would say, you know, I was just wondering if I could give you a quote for window cleaning, my love. etc. Oh, we've already got a window cleaner. And the guy would turn around and go, what's he clean it with? His tongue. And he's insulting the person. And he's coming across as a bit of a knob, quite frankly. Yes, you might have high standards. You might not, you might even think, you know, you can think what you like. It's currently not a crime to think. You know what I mean? You might think, Jesus Christ, what has he been doing with these windows? You know what I mean? But never come out with that. Never, ever come across as the guy who's cocky, who's like, well, I could do better than that, and all this sort of stuff. Because the guy to take one look at you and go, what a bell end. You know, you've just got to be polite and say, all right, well, you know, dramas, if they let you down, bear in mind, we're in the area every 4 weeks, or every 2 weeks, or every 6 weeks, whatever, right? Have a good one, see you in a bit. And on to the next, and on to the next, and on to the next, and on to the next. And eventually you'll pick up customers. And the thing is even if you don't pick a customer up, that person has got a positive interaction with you, where you've turned around and said, all right, have a good day, I'll speak to you later, 9 times out of 10, right? So that if in the future that changes, they'll go, actually, I've got that card from that guy that came around. He seemed like a nice bloke. You know what I mean? I'll give him a call. They might not need you straight away. They might, you know, at some point need you further down the line. And this is the thing. You plant that seed. No one ever remembers a salesman who is cocky or an utter, you know, idiot on the phone, or someone who's left a real negative impact with someone. They don't remember, you know, what they were selling or anything like that. But if you leave a positive interaction with people, they'll go, oh, I remember that guy that came around, actually. He gave a quote. He seemed all right. Where's the card? And they'll, you know, it's all about positivity. But also, before I go, I'm dragging on a bit here, but it's also, when it comes to, people say, oh, yeah, you know, you've got to be good at sales. I used to work in a call centre, right? And I was absolutely crap at it. And the reason why I was absolutely crap at it is because I had no passion for it whatsoever. Before you get the wrong idea, let's get the one thing straight. I have absolutely no passion or hard on, if you like, for window cleaning, okay? I could stare at a dirty window all day, right? But I do have a passion for growing my business. I have a passion for seeing my hard work pay off. I have a passion for actually helping people and interacting with people. That's the best thing about window cleaning. You speak, especially residential, because you speak to the same people every month on, oh, how's such and such and blah, blah, and all this sort of stuff. You know, a lot of people, you know, I had a gentleman, right, who was blind as a customer. I don't mean short of sight. I mean could not see his hand in front of his face. He was completely blind, right? Lovely bloke. His name was Ken. Sadly, he's no longer with us now. He was an elderly gentleman. And he lost his sight, I believe, in an industrial accident or something like that, when he was very young, when he was like sort of 18, you know what I mean? Lost his sight extremely young. And here's the thing, right? You might be thinking to yourself, well, hang on a minute. If he's blind, what the hell does he need a window cleaner for? He can't see out the freaking windows. It's all about this pride thing, keeping his house nice and tidy for his visitors and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of the time, he just wanted someone to talk to. The guy lived on his own. He was about 89 when he died, something like that. He was a lovely bloke. I used to love going around cleaning his windows. Oh, morning, Ken. How we doing, son? You all right? You know, and you'd be having a bit of banter, a bit of a chat, what have you. Nothing, you know, nothing fake about it. I was actually pleased to see him. And this is the thing, I'm pleased to see all my customers. They're, generally speaking, they're all a good bunch. So I don't mind talking to people. You know, but the thing is, if you don't have a passion for what you're trying to sell, you will never sell it. You can read whatever script you like, you can, you know, you can fake it, but people are not stupid and they will see straight through you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just wanted to get that video out, to be honest with you. Sales, okay, it's not about actually, you know, being that cocky person, that person who is ultimately, you know, in it for the money. I'm all about the money. Yeah, look, money's nice. Money makes the world go around. Money will help you grow your business, right? But it's the interactions you're left with that have a positive impact on people, yeah? You know what I mean? That's what I love about this. And if a person comes off the window cleaning round, then so be it. But it's not all about money. You've got to enjoy what you do. You've got to have a passion for what you do, yeah? Or a passion for what you know, the fruits of your labor. I love the idea of growing my business. I love the idea, right, that I started with a bucket. And now I've got 3 guys that work for me. I've got 3 vans, etc., and all this sort of stuff. You know, it's going places. You know what I mean? When I retire, this business will carry on by whoever owns it, whether it's family or someone that buys it off me. You know, it will leave a legacy where my children ideally will benefit from it. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what makes me get up in the morning. Yeah, it's not about, you know, oh, how many windows can I clean today? You know, it's not about that. It's about growing as a person and growing as a business, you know, and what comes from that. So, yeah, anyway, I've got a crack on. So, have a good one, peeps. Hope you have a good week. And if you, as usual, if you got any questions, comments, send them my way, etc. I'll leave a link in the description for the socials and all this sort of good stuff. If you've got a suggestion for any future videos, etc. like that you'd like me to do, please get in touch, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep on keeping on.